Hi everyone, it's Kristi. Welcome back to my channel. I have finished up matting the rest of the folder, and I did find it easier to do these side mats. What I did was I slid the paper under, traced around, and then I trimmed off of 1/2 inch on the edge after I cut that out. So and then I just had to modify this part right here because you're tracing it, you're going to come right up here, so I just went a little bit higher. So it's not perfect, but once you get everything together, it's not going to matter. So we've got these little flaps, we've got pockets here, pockets here. You could put pockets here. If you didn't want to do these pockets, you could just cut this off and fold these in, glue here and here, and make these side flaps. Very easy that we could have done that. But I did put the front, I chose this one for the front cover, and the bird for the back cover. I liked that a lot. This does not bother me. If it bothers you, you know, put a piece of lace or a piece of fabric, anything down the center, and you know, that will cover that up and you won't have to worry about it. To me, I kind of like to see where it was before and how it's become. You know, you get a little hint of, oh, that was a file folder. So anyway, I'm going to set this aside. We're going to work on the pages. So what I've got, I've chosen 6 of these. They're double-sided, and these are the 6 that I chose. And I want this one, nope, not this one. Yes, I think I'm going to put this one in the middle because it's very similar to this with the clock. So I'm going to put that one in the middle. And then I've got 10 of these tan papers that I've talked about before. The link is in the description box if you're interested in this tan paper. I love this tan paper. I bought 2 reams of it, so that's 1,000 sheets that I've been trying to use up. It's keeping me from having to do coffee dyeing when it's cold, and my fingers don't work properly when it's cold. So, and if you print out a kit, now I did print these out on white 28-pound paper, but if you don't want to coffee dye, print on tan paper. It makes your paper design look very vintage, and you won't have to coffee dye the back. It's a shortcut. So I've got 10 of those. I've got 6 of these, and then I have 5 miscellaneous pieces. This is a sheet of Stephen Foster music. I've got a piece of tracing paper. I just love the sound of that. And I've got a piece of ledger, I've got a doily, and I've got some graph paper. So just one of the tricks that I do to make it easy, I love my Martha Stewart scoreboard. It took me years before I would purchase one because I was too cheap, but I use it all the time now, and especially for folding things. So I'm just going to fold all of these things in half, and the thing I like about this, and I learned this trick from Trisha Morris over at Club Scrap, is you just butt it up against there and done. You don't need to score it, but just having that, you don't have to worry about lining it up. It's very simple and easy. Which side do I want on the front? I kind of like the holes at the top. So, because I kind of feel like if the holes are on the bottom, I'm going to rip them. Maybe that's just me. Now, this music paper measures, I cut off all, it was torn, and I cut off all the torn parts. So it's not 8.5 wide, but it is 8.5 tall. So, you could put it in like this, but I think I'm going to make it just a short page, and I think I'm going to put it in this way in the book. So it'll just be a short page, and whatever's behind it will show through. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do with that, and then I'll do the same thing with these. Now, I need to remember to fold number 6 inside out. Now, one thing I will tell you, these are 8.5 by 11 sheets, but when I print them borderless, it is slightly off on the center. You can see there's not as much grunge on this side as there is, but it's not noticeable because this is going to be in the spine. So I'm not worried about that. And there's our bird again from the back cover. I really like this framed one. It's fun. That'd be fun to write in. And these ornamental designs are really cool. All right, so this is the one I want for the middle, so I'm going to fold it the opposite way. All right, so, oh, and then I need to do these. So you could do more than one at a time if you want. Do 2 or 3. I wouldn't do more than that. 1, 2, 3. Because if you do more than that, it's going to be slightly off. But, you know, wherever you can take some shortcuts for time. Okay. Alrighty. And then since I folded these 10 pages in 3, I have to pull them apart, and then I will burnish them with my bone folder. And it does save me a little time because I don't have to do each one individually. So just stack them up like that. And then you can see they're not, you know, they're not going to stand straight. So all I have to do is take my bone folder and come like this. If I need to, I can flip them over. And that way I've got them all flat at the same time. I can do the same thing with these. Just kind of run my, I think they're going 2 different directions, but it doesn't matter. And these. Okay, so let's get these. I want this to be the signature cover, and I think I think these are in the order I want them. Okay, so I go from the middle to the front when I'm putting my journal together. Something's wrong. This is the front. Okay, I did that wrong. So I have 1, okay, there's 3 clocks, so let's put this one in the middle. And then, is there a clock on this one? Yes, okay. And I've got the 2 line papers, and we've got the framed paper. Okay, so that's the order I want those. And you do not have to be this particular. If you don't care where it goes, put it where you want it. So I want the doily to be in the middle. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to put the music paper and the doily and put the tissue paper in the middle. And then I'll put these. Got to have them going correct way. Yeah, okay. Like that. And then my coffee dye or tan paper will be over here. So I'm going to start with the middle, and then I'm going to do tan and then the ledger. And if I've done this right, and then designer and tan and doily. Like I said, if I've done this right, I should end up with the designer page on the outside. And since there's one more of the designer pages, that should come out right. Okay. Music and frames and this, and I know what I did wrong. I already did something wrong. I was supposed to do this paper between each. So that's okay. Get these the right height and we'll fix it. Alright, we'll start from the middle again. And so I did this and then tan, and then I was supposed to have this and tan. Okay. this tan doily tan, designer tan tissue, or tracing paper and tan. Yeah, because these are already together the right way. So designer tan music tan. I messed one up, didn't I? Maybe not. So designer and tan. Okay, yeah. And then graph and tan. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then the outside one. So I've got 21 pages here, which is a good amount, because we're going to be putting you know, pockets and things in here. So this we will be sewing in here, and that is going to make for a nice, comfortable little journal. I like that. So let's put this together. I want to make sure that these pages are kind of lined up the way they're supposed to be. Okay, and then I want to get it in here, and I'm going to use my book. Grab my book over here and stick this in here, and this will help me line up my paper, because I've got that matting, so I know it's going to be 1/4 of an inch top to bottom. I'm going to use my ruler. I like to use the ruler to kind of hold it in and make sure everything is pretty much lined up properly, and then start putting my clips on. And I had 2 more clips. Where'd they go? Oh, here with the Christmas receipts. All right. I don't think anybody's going to be returning anything, but I keep them just in case. So here's one of them, and here's the other one. Okay. So we're just going to go like that. I'm not doing it separately. I am going to poke the holes all at once. I have my awl. I got this kit, now not everything in here because I've added to it, but it was a good kit for a beginner. It's a beginner bookbinding, sorry, my paintbrushes are falling. Beginner bookbinding kit. It says bookbinding starter tool set by Vinsink. I want to say it was $7 to $10. I don't remember, but I believe there's a link to it in the description box. And it comes with waxed linen, it comes with needles, it comes with an awl, it comes with clips. I believe it comes with these kind of clips, the bulldog clips, not gold, they're black, but yeah, it's a great kit. It even comes with a couple bone folders, excuse me. Alright, so I am going to eyeball this and just go with the center through. And I'm going to come up about 1 inch and go through, and about 1 inch and go through. Now, I'm going to kind of readjust my clips a little because that last one didn't seem to go all the way through. So let me make sure that I'm going through the whole thing. Very tight because there's 21 pages to go through. So there we go. It's possible I was off the edge of the book. I don't know. All right. So then I like to come in here now that it's off the book and kind of go through about, and I just kind of take my time. I want to go through and I go through until the hole is going to fit my needle, and that for me that's about 1 inch. Yeah, so just about 1 inch through, and then I know I can see through the hole, and I know that my needle will fit through that. So then I'm going to do the same thing over here, just slowly, not poking myself. Okay. Pull that out. Pull it out slowly too so you don't rip your papers, because what happens is as you punch the hole, one paper goes through to the next paper, into the next paper, because that paper has to be displaced somewhere to leave room for the hole. So it goes behind to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. It's kind of like a, I don't know, like a green onion, or something that grows from the middle that shoots out, you know, and it's all connected. So if you pull it out really quick, you could tear that because they're all connected. Not connected enough to hold it, but connected enough to tear your paper if you pull it out too quick. All right, so I've got my needle here, and this is just, I believe this is just a darning needle. It's got a sharp tip, but I believe if you get dull needles, they're kind of a blunt tip, so they work a little better. But these are the ones I have. I believe these are my grandma's. Anyway, I start in the middle, and I make sure before I start that this is right side up, this is right side up. I'm pretty sure nothing's upside down, and we're going to go through and come out that center. And then I'm going to leave a little bit to tie off here, and I'm going to clip this. I'm not going to let go. I'm just going to clip it under there to remind me not to tug too hard, otherwise it'll just come right out the hole. So there we go. Then I'm going to come up through the top. You guys probably can't see this. I use the desk to help me get it through. I'm going to come all the way down to the bottom now. And I do want to close the book a little bit, because otherwise the hole may not line up. Go down. And now the hardest part of the whole thing is I want to come through this hole right here without splitting any threads. So I want to make sure this is kind of pulled out of my way. I'm going to come in there, and I can see my point. I did not spear the thread, so I can come through. And if you did spear through the original thread, you'll know it, because it'll come out and you will be able to see it when you're trying to tighten it. And it's not fun. You want this on one side of this long thread, and you want this on the other side, because we're going to encase that. I just want to double check that everything is tight. You see how loose this is? We don't want that, because that'll make our pages wiggly in the book. So what I will do is kind of just pull gently on here and go back, and I still don't like that that's that loose, so I'm just going to keep kind of pulling on here just ever so gently until these are the tight as I want them to. If it's not working in one direction, you may need to go this way. I find that that tears the paper. I kind of try to go with the original direction. Can even go that way. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's tight enough. And I'm going to do over and under to make a square knot. And then I'm just going to tie a bow, because that's what I like. Now, if we were doing lace on this journal, which we're not, because we're doing basics, I would tie a piece of lace in the middle of that. I'm having a heck of a time tying bows lately. Okay. Make it a little bit bigger so they're about the same size. Don't need them huge. If you want, you could just clip them off. You don't have to have a bow. I just like the bow, like such. And you could leave these long and hang beads from them if you wanted, but you don't have to. We're not going to today. So there we go. We have, I'm going to go ahead and pull that down. We have our Well, I guess it doesn't matter. We have our pages sewn in. Now, sometimes you'll get a little paper pooch, that's what I call it. You can either use your little score tool to kind of poke that in a little bit. Use your needle. That's just the white core showing through. But this is what I do. And then you're good. It's sewn in, you see the sewing, but you're not looking at a bunch of poochy stuff. And so now we have this, everything fits nice, everything lays down very flat. That's why I like this type of journal. Easy to write in. It's going to get a little bit harder when we put some pockets, but we're not going to load it up too big. We've already got our front and back cover pockets, so we just want to add a few more pieces. And this collection by Gi Kerr, Happiness in Crafting, is called Old Time Rose. The link is in the description box, and it comes with some really pretty ephemera. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to go out there to my scan and cut and see if I can get it to cut it out for me, and we'll be back. So thanks for watching. See you next time.